First, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. This is, I don't know, what, the 5th or 6th time we've done this candidates night, and I think it's enjoyable and helpful and educational for everyone who comes. And as you see, we're taping tonight, so this will be up on the World Wide Web tomorrow or soon thereafter. And so the format tonight is not a town hall format, so there's not questions from the audience like you see with Trump and Rubio and those guys. Unfortunately, we want to try to keep this so that we can get out of here by 9 o'clock. So we have solicited questions over the last 3 or 4 months from RBA members and the public at large, and we've put together, I think, some good questions. We'll try to keep this short and concise. We want to start a little bit out of order because the school committee does have a meeting tonight. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to have questions for the contested races, which is really only school committee and the water commission. Everyone else, the candidates who are here, you're all going to have an opportunity to come up. We'll call you by name, and we'll give you all an opportunity to talk about your candidacy and what you hope to achieve. We're not really going to ask a lot of questions, and then we'll go on to the next group. So the format will be the school committee. We're going to do some uncontested folks, and then I think we'll finish it up with the water commission at the end, which is the other contested race. And we hope to be out of here. Let's see, it's just after 6:30. I mean, I would hope we can be out of here by 8 o'clock for everyone. So with that, we will start with the school committee, and we do have a timekeeper who will keep time. We're going to allow you an introduction, each of you, okay? And then we have some questions. We'll ask you each the same question, and what do we have for a response on that? Like 2 or 3 minutes? Yeah, I mean, we're pretty flexible. I mean, this is not MSNBC or anything. So,
Yes, it is.
yeah, we just don't want to stay here all night. And there's a lot of folks here, and we really appreciate you all coming out. I think this is very valuable for the community. And I think it helps people when they go to the voting booth to hear a little bit about who they're voting for. Okay, so with that being said, why don't we start with the incumbent, if you could introduce yourself, and then his opponent, and then we'll go with the questions.
My name is Richard Barrett. We're here at 238 Rocky Hill Road, been a resident of town for, I've lived in town 30 years. I serve on the ZBA in town also, and I've been on school committee. I think this would be my 4th term. I filled in 1 year when someone resigned, and yeah, I think this will be my 3rd. I don't know. What else does anybody want to know?
Okay, all right, that's fine. And
I'm Melissa Enos. I've lived in town since 2001. I am also on the Rehoboth Land Trust Volunteer Committee. I'm active in many different aspects of the school in volunteer capacity, and I serve as deacon on the Rehoboth Congregational Church, and I've had 3 kids go through the system. My youngest is a freshman at the high school.
very good, okay. Thank you, Richard and Melissa. So this is Linda Ferrera to my left, and Mike Castro to my far left. They're going to take the questions on the school committee portion tonight, and so I will turn it over to the 2 of them.
We'll start with Mr. Barrett. First question, or first comment, then followed by a question. The school committee recently presented proposed changes to the regional school district agreement between Rehoboth and Dayton. The current agreement was adopted in 1987, so it's approximately 30 years old. How important is it for the towns of Rehoboth and Dayton, I lost my place, to update this agreement?
It's very important. And when I first got on the committee, that was one of the first things I wanted to address. That it was time to look at the agreement, that things change rather quickly. And we haven't changed it. And everyone else does it anywhere from 3 to 5 years. So, and they literally throw the agreement out and start from scratch. So it's due.
Okay. Same question for...
I would have to agree with Mr. Barrett there. 30 years is a long time. I think there's something to be said for if it's not broke, don't fix it. But in this case, think of all the advancements just in technology alone that have come across the last 30 years. That it was high time that it got looked at and revised.
Okay.
And as you can see by some of the things that they looked at, not everything needed to be changed, but those things that did need to be updated were.
Okay. And as a follow-up to that, do you see going forward that this would be something that the school committee should almost keep in a subcommittee and review every 5 to 10 years to keep the agreement up to date?
It should be anywhere 3 to 5 years, definitely.
Absolutely.
So I'll go to Ms. Enos on this one. So in your opinion, still talking about the proposed changes, what is the one change in the proposed agreement that will have the most positive impact in the town and why?
In the proposed agreement,
Yes.
I would think that, of course, allowing kids from outside the district to come in is a great feature. And I know that it was kind of, people were unsure about how they feel about it, but having kids that have special needs be allowed to be assigned to schools, I think that's a great idea too. I would hope that in the best of everything, that the kids that would be assigned to places where their needs would be best met. So I like those two options.
Okay. And Mr. Barrett, same question?
Could you just repeat the question?
The question is, in your opinion, what is the one change in the proposed agreement that will have the most positive impact on the town and why?
But the one thing that I'd like to see in the agreement is something about where we, for the assessment, the way things are proportioned, there has to be something, an alternative, that's not in the current agreement right now.
Okay.
Citing an article published in the Sun Chronicle on March 7, 2016, there was a request to see the minutes of the DR Regional Agreement Amendment Committee meetings, and this request was not met. Furthermore, the Vice Chairman of the school committee insulted the individual requesting the information. This is for you, Mr. Barrett, to start off with, please. Do you think it is appropriate to treat citizens of Dayton and Rehoboth in this manner?
Definitely not. And he was spoken to about that. That's what happens when you don't pay attention to emails that you send out late at night. You know, you have to be very careful, and he was wrong. And the minutes, they should be keeping minutes.
I believe it's a requirement.
Yes, it is.
Ms. Enos?
Yes, it is. I believe it's still a requirement to keep minutes. Thankfully, the recorded meetings are available for everyone to see. Luckily, they can go back and take the minutes from those recorded meetings, but there will be a written record afterwards. It's unfortunate that feelings were hurt and that things disintegrated to the level that they have, and again, it was not called for at all.
So I think part of the next question you partially answered, but as a resolve, there's still a question. Why has the school committee chosen to stay in violation of the open meeting law?